It is Wednesday, November 9th in the NBA. We have 26 teams in action. I'm back with my 5 favorite picks of the day. Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. We had Tuesday off in the NBA yesterday, but let's recap Monday. Almost bringing out the brooms, a 4-1 day. We had 2 best bets of the day. Mr. Tyrese Halliburton over 33.5 PRAs, cashed that one. John Morant's over 26.5 points, cashed that one as well. We had Devin Booker's over in points. We added Alperen Sengun's over in PRAs. Our only loss was the Warriors, minus 4.5 in the first half. The best bet segment, a ridiculous 17-3. It's an 85% clip. We're up over 25 units on the year so far through the NFL. Let's continue that momentum into Wednesday. If you are new, go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button too. We do these videos every single morning, and if we've been helping you make some money, I know I beat this guy into your guys' head, go become a COS All-Star. I appreciate it. Show some support for the channel for everything I do for free. It only costs $2.99 a month. You get some cool extra perks like, 1, you get our plays early in case the lines do move. Number 2, I shout your name out at the end of the video, which I will do for the new All-Stars today. Go down below, hit the join button. And as always, it is Wednesday, which means we do have our NFL Week 10 Best Bets video live at noon Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Definitely check that out. Our Thursday Night Football video will be live later tonight as well. The Best Bet segment went 2-0 on Monday. It's going to try to go 2-0 today as we have another 2 picks coming your guys' way. Let's talk about this first guy. His name is Brandon Ingram. He plays for the Pelicans. We're taking his over 23.5 points, minus 104 on FanDuel. For the newcomers out there, our best bet of the day means we put 1.5 units on it, which is more than the normal plays. 1.5 units. If you don't know what units are, well, you could probably look up some bankroll management videos, but a unit is just your normal kind of bankroll, what you should put on each bet. Now let's talk about Mr. Ingram and the best bets we say to put more on him. Now Ingram, he's got some big shoes to fill. It's his first time we've taken any of his props this year, and he's only played in 6 games. He missed a couple due to injury, but in those 6 games, he scored 28, 28, 10, 26, 16, and 29 points, hitting the over in 4 of 6. Now, you look at a couple of those games. One, he had 10 points. That's the game he got injured in, only playing in 11 minutes, so kind of throw that one out the bag. And then another one, he scored 16 points. He shot 7 for 23 in. Look, if Brandon Ingram goes out there and shoots 23 times tonight, I don't really care how he does. I think he's going to hit his over probably 89, 95% of the time, and I think he'll go out there and shoot a lot. You look at the games he's played in this season, he has 17 plus field goal attempts in 4 of the 5 games where he's played that he didn't get injured in. In one of the games, he didn't attempt 17 or more field goal attempts. He attempted 16, and he had 11 free throw attempts. So we know he would have at least attempted, 17, 20 attempts. And Ingram last season, when he attempted 17 or more field goal attempts, he's hit this over 24 plus points in 25 of 39 games. That's 64% of the time. Now, 17 is probably his floor. I think he has a chance to shoot a lot more, especially in a fast-paced matchup against the Chicago Bulls. He got a high over-under close to the 230s, and the Pelicans don't play a lot of defense, and they don't have a lot of people to really shoot the ball on offense. It's really Ingram, CJ McCollum, and then mostly Zion Williamson. Other than that, you're going to see a couple guys like Herb Jones steal a couple attempts, maybe Jonas Valanciunas too, but I think we'll see Ingram with the best matchup on the court. Now, Patrick Williams, probably the best defender for the Bulls, likely guard Zion Williamson. I don't imagine they want to have DeMar DeRozan having to guard Zion all game, so I think you're going to see Ingram matched up with DeMar DeRozan, and who I love DeRozan. He doesn't play a lot of defense these days. So I think Ingram's going to have a pretty good day. We'll take his over 23.5 points. I'd probably only play it up to 24.5. Ingram does have some games where he just does not shoot the ball well, but kind of gets to the mid-range, gets to the rim. I don't really trust Vucevic to block him at the rim. I think we'll see Ingram have a pretty good day. Our first best bet of the day, 1.5 units on Ingram, over 23.5 points. And since it's Wagon Wednesday, we're going to go to our wagon, our Hallie wagon to be exact. The guy on my shirt, might as well wear this shirt every day. We're taking Tyrese Halliburton over 29.5 points plus assists, minus 108 on FanDuel. I know we take this bet a lot. This is, I think, our 3rd time taking it this year. And I'm taking points plus assists instead of PRAs. I think PRAs is a good bet. If you want to take an individual prop, I always lean Halliburton's assist prop. And if you've never watched him play, please do. Go watch him play. Plays for the Pacers. We're putting 1.5 units on this. Now, let's talk about Halliburton. The Pacers are back at home where we like to take Hallie's props. And they're taking on the Nuggets. Over under at 235.5. Points are expected, and it's going to be a fast-paced game as neither of these two teams play an ounce of defense. Now, Halliburton trying to get into that COS Hall of Fame. It's an illustrious achievement for his career. I think he's probably going to get there if he cashes out today. Now, Halliburton averaging 21.7 points per game and 9.7 assists per game for 31.4 points plus assists per game this season. The reason I'm taking PAs instead of PRAs is because I don't really like to trust Halliburton to get a lot of rebounds. It's just not normally his forte. He'll have games where he gets 9 rebounds, but also a lot of games where he gets 2, 3, or 4, and that's going to really take a little bit of a damper. I still think he can cash all of his lines tonight, but I think PAs is the safest bet for him. And at home, Halliburton has been a wagon. He's had 33, 31, 34, 39, and 33 points plus assists at home, crushing this line in all 5 home games. This is another great matchup against the Nuggets, who really struggle, and Halliburton leads this Pacers team in drives per game. He averages, I believe, 13 or 14 drives per game, and this Denver team allows the 5th most points in the paint per game. Now, Halliburton set a career high, or tied his career high, with 3-pointers last game. He really didn't do a whole lot the whole game, except for in the third quarter when he went berserk, but I think he continues that momentum into this game. Denver are really struggling defensively. I think this is going to be a fast-paced game, a lot of points, and it's going to be probably a close game because I don't see either team blowing the other out. So we love Halliburton. We love what he's been doing for us this year, and I think he continues that. I will give you a side note. I won't be betting on Halliburton next game. I looked at his schedule. Plays the Toronto Raptors. No, I don't want a piece of that. So Halliburton, this might be your last time on the channel for a couple games, but I really like his over 29.5 points plus assists, minus 108 on FanDuel, putting down 1.5 units on that. Now let's keep it moving. We got 3 more picks. I'm going to the Raptors, -9, my spread pick of the day. This is minus 110 on FanDuel. It could go up, it could go down, and you look at this, the Raptors are back at home taking on the Rockets, and this is a huge line for the Raptors to cover, especially without arguably their best player, Pascal Siakam. But the Raptors, I think they get it done. They're 6-5 this year. In their 6 wins, they've won by 3, 8, 10, 30, 43, and 9 points. So usually when they win, they do it in decisive fashion. The only game by 3 points was the first game of the season against the Cavaliers. And I don't really think too highly of the Rockets. Now, the Raptors haven't shot well from 3 in the last couple games, under 33% in the last 3 games. And they're a team that has above average 3-point shooters like Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., and I just don't trust the Rockets to show up on the road in Toronto today. The difference in this game is going to come down to defense. The Raptors play it, the Rockets don't. The Rockets have the 3rd worst defensive rating in the league. The Raptors have the 6th best defensive rating in the league. And the Rockets are coming off a high-scoring game against Orlando. They scored 134 points, knocking down 53% of their shots, 50% from the 3-point line, making 24 threes. Here's what's not going to happen. They're not making 24 threes tonight. This is a team due some regression. They don't have the best 3-point shooters out there. The Rockets have played 8 road games this year, losing 7 of them. The ones they've lost, 5 of the 7, they've lost by 10 or more points. I think the Raptors come out here, show the Rockets how to play defense, and I think the Rockets are a bad Jalen Green or Kevin Porter Jr. game from losing by 20-plus points. Go Raptors, taking them -9 tonight. Now let's move on to 2 more player props. We're talking to the guy we haven't talked about all season long, Devin Vassell of the Spurs, over 17.5 points, -118 on FanDuel. Now, Vassell and the Spurs, if you don't know who he plays for the Spurs, and they're at home taking on the Grizzlies. It's no over-under at 234.5 points are expected, in the Grizzlies, just like a team like the Denver Nuggets, don't know how to play defense. That's why we're rocking with Vassell. Now, you look at Vassell this season, he had a little bit of an injury in the middle of there, but he's averaging 20.7 points per game, going over this line in 5 of 7 games. That included the first 2 games when he came back from injury, and he was coming off the bench. Now he's back in the starting lineup playing 34-ish minutes a night, and he's hit this over in 5 of 7 games this season. In the 2 games that you've seen Vassell miss, he shot 3 for 15 and 6 for 17. Look, we can't control a bad shooting night, but the fact he's going out there and attempting, 15, 17 field goal attempts is what we want to see, because the Grizzlies, 8th worst defensive rating in the league. On the road, they're allowing a 3-point percentage over 40%, and that's what Vassell does. He shoots threes and he knocked him down. He's averaging 15.9 field goal attempts per game, and this season, 19 players have 15 or more field goal attempts against the Grizzlies. 16 of them have scored 18-plus points. It's a very narrow shot tree in San Antonio. You got Keldon Johnson attempting, 17 a game. Then you got Vassell attempting about 15, 16 a game. And then you got Trey Jones barely attempting over 10. There's not really a lot of guys that attempt a lot of shots. Doug McDermott could even be out for this game. He is questionable coming into it. I just think this line is a little bit too low. I'd play it up to 18.5. If you get to 19.5, that's where I think his line should be. So I think you're getting value at 17.5, especially after he scored just 17 points in his last game. Love the matchup. I love the player. A very good young player. I think he has a pretty good day. We're taking Devin Vassell over 17.5 points. Let's keep it moving. My final play of the day before we talk about some All-Stars. Maybe I'll even talk about a couple leans I looked at. Josh Hart of the Portland Trailblazers, taking his over 11.5 rebounds plus assists, -120 on PointsBet. I 100% know this line's going to 12.5, and if you get, it does go up to 12.5. I'd play it there. I would also take his rebounds over probably as an individual leg if you don't have rebounds plus assists. Now, I do have to say a shout out to my good friend on Twitter, Capper Penguin, or his username is _Lord Penguin. Look, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Penguins, but go give him a follow. He put out this play, and I really do like it, and I'll be tailing him for this one. But look, Hart's been doing it all for the Blazers, and that included a buzzer beater three-pointer in his most recent game to take down the Miami Heat and win that game. Now, today we aren't asking him to score, and if you want to take his PRAs, you can go for it. I imagine it's probably in the low 20s. But Hart, what he does is he does the dirty work. That's why we like taking a rebounds plus assist prop, because this season averaging 8.6 rebounds per game on 14.8 rebound chances per game. That's the second most on the team. Only guy that averages more rebound chances is Jusuf Nurkic. Now, he's also averaging a lot of assists per game, 5 to be exact, on 8.3 assist chances. Now, in Hart's last 3 games, played pretty well. He's at 17, 15, and 15 rebounds plus assists for a total, and he's averaging a total of 36.2 minutes per game this season. Hart's out there a lot, and they got a lot of injuries out there for the Portland Trailblazers. I know Damian Lillard's back, but in his 6 games with Dame this year, hit this over in 5 of those 6 games. And the Hornets, who they're facing on Wednesday, a fast-paced team. This is a Hornets team that goes up and down the court. They allow the second most rebounds per game to small forwards, and the third most assists per game to small forwards. That's exactly what Hart's position is. And you look at who Hart will be out on the court with. It's going to be Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, and Jusuf Nurkic. Those first 3 guys I listed, Lillard, Simons, Grant, not known for being good rebounders. Those guys don't normally hustle for the rebounds. And for a guy that is probably going to be hustling out there, Josh Hart's a guy that goes and gets those rebounds. He could easily hit this over with rebounds alone. But I think he also chips in on a 4 to 6 to 8 assists in this game. I think Hart's a great player. I think he's got a great role for this Portland Trailblazers team. This game should be close, which is what we want. It should be a back and forth game. A lot of points, a lot of rebounds, a lot of assists. I think Hart has a pretty good game. His last 2 against Charlotte, he had 9 and 10 rebounds plus assists. So going under, only played 23 and 27 minutes in those games. He should see closer to 35 to 36. I think he gets over the hump, taking him over 11.5 rebounds plus assists as our 5th and final play of the day. Probably no added plays, but if I were to add one, here's probably what I'd be looking at. Here's a couple leans. I'm not going to put them up on the video. It's only for the people that are listening, and this far, 11 minutes, 32 seconds into the video. I really looked hard at Nikola Jokic's over 8.5 assists. I think it's a pretty good one. It probably goes up to 9.5. I think it's a good day that we see Jokic probably get a triple-double. I think it's like plus 210. Now another one, DeMar DeRozan. I like his over in points. Just like Ingram should do his thing, I think DeMar will do his thing too. He's had 2 bad games, only attempted like 9 and 6 field goal attempts. I think it's back to shooting a lot, and this is great buy low spot. Now, another guy, Giannis, taking his over in rebounds. I'd be a little bit careful about this one. Bobby Portis could start, so this is not a play I'd really want to add unless I saw, Portis is back on the bench. Yeah, Drew Holiday could be out for this game, so be careful. And Julius Randle, over 20.5 points. I was looking at a way to target that Knicks-Nets game. Randle normally plays well against the Nets. Jalen Brunson, PRA line, not a terrible look. Probably won't add any of these plays. I'll have their question marks. I like the 5 plays we got. I don't really like playing more than 5. I know we got 13 games on, but we don't need to force a lot of plays just to force them just because we have NBA action. We got a lot more months of NBA to bet on. Now, as always, it's time to shout out some COS All-Stars. If you want to become an All-Star, click the join button on the channel. I'd appreciate it. We got a long list. As always, I'm going to butcher some names and probably 90% of these, but let's get into it. We got Jordan, we got Alessio, we got Miguel, we got Riley, we got Gotta Get the Bag, the OG. We got Mike, we got Brian, we got D Rose, we got Billy, Jake, Derek, Marcus, Chris, Luke, I Win, Trust Me 24. We got Michael, Andrew, Luis, Devin, Austin, Aiden, Elijah, Austin, I love your name, Elijah, Derek, Mike, Yui, Adam, Craig, Salem, Colby, Harden, Jack Davis, Gonzalo, my thing's messed up, but I think it's Gonzalo. I probably pronounced that wrong though. Hayden, Miguel, Black Mambita, Darrell, King of NBA, Quincy, Alex, Wrecked Mario, Aaron, Masters and Majors, and AF_bets_. Appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. 2 reminders. Best bets for NFL Week 10, live at noon. And our Thursday Night Football, live later tonight. This is Austin. I'm signing out. See you guys back in tomorrow. Hopefully we bring out the brooms. See you guys then. Peace out.